What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Tuesday, November 16th. And be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Only place you get updates to my sims as we get closer to lock. Let me know in the comments section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. And finally, go sign up at PrizePicks using the promo code Awesemo. You will get a 100% instant match deposit bonus of up to $100. Can't beat it. Now, we round out the bottom of my top 10 with Isaiah Hartenstein, Reggie Jackson, Keldon Johnson, Kevin Durant, and Terrence Mann. This is going to be a wild 3-game slate. Those guys are on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. First up at number 5, we've got Donovan Mitchell. He is point guard, shooting guard eligible, 8,800. Projected for 43. The goal is 52. He's in the optimal lineup 35% of the time. Not much to say on a 3-gamer. You just like the raw point ceiling of Donovan Mitchell. 34 minutes, 1.25 fantasy points per minute, 35% usage. It's just all scoring. 28 real points. A lot easier to get when you're going up against Philly and it's Andre Drummond and not Joel Embiid. 28 real points, as I mentioned. 5 assists, 4.5 rebounds, a stock and a half. It's a pace down spot against Philly, but I think that gets negated by just not having Joel Embiid on the court. 8,800 for someone like Donovan Mitchell with 35% usage. I'm not worried about having a lot of him at all. At number 4, probably a little controversial, Derrick White, point guard, shooting guard eligible, 5,200, projected for 28. The goal's 37. He's in the optimal lineup 35% of the time. He's been shooting really bad. I believe his true shooting this season is somewhere around 45%. I don't expect that to continue. He's still been a 0.9 fantasy point per minute guy so far this season. That's exactly where I have him here. 31 minutes, 18% usage, 12, 5, 3.5, a steal, a block, slight pace up spot against the Clippers. Maybe this is the get right spot, but honestly, on this 3-gamer, if he's going to be playing around 30 minutes at 5,200, I'm okay with 0.9 and hoping to get a ceiling game out of White. We move on to the number 3 spot, shooting guard, small forward eligible, Paul George. He is 10K, projected for 47.5. The goal is 57.5, and he's in the optimal lineup 35% of the time. I'm happy to pay up for Paul George. He does the most for the Clippers of anybody. 36 minutes, 1.32 fantasy points per minute, 33% usage, 26 real points, 9 rebounds and 5 assists plus 2 stocks in a big-time pace-up spot against San Antonio, who should actually play slightly faster with no Jakob Poeltl in comparison to going to someone like Thad Young at the 5. So I'm going to have no issue paying up for Paul George. I think he's my preferred pay-up option, although the difference between Paul George, 35%, and Kevin Durant, 34%, clearly just 1%, but marginal at best. Ownership will really dictate this decision. He might just be center eligible only, but Rudy Gobert at number 2 is my number 2. Yeah, well, we'll keep going with it. 8,300 for Gobert, 43 fantasy point projection. The goal is 50. He's in the optimal lineup 36% of the time. God, that was one of the worst intros I'll ever do, but why cut it? You guys get the drill. You know what you're getting out of me at this point. 1.3 fantasy points per minute. 18% usage for Gobert, and this is where it just gets really fun. 16 points and 15 rebounds. Yes, he's in for a 15 and 15. An assist, a steal, 2.5 blocks. That'll work. Much better spot against Andre Drummond than it is against Joel Embiid. What's not to like here? Even at 8,300, it doesn't matter. Just center eligibility doesn't matter. Rudy Gobert number 2. But none of these guys are close to my number 1 play. Now, before we hit that number 1 contender, one last reminder, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman, only place you get updates to my sims as we get closer to lock. And I want you in the comments section letting me know who your favorite and least favorite contenders are for today's slate. Rounding out the top of it all, my number 1 guy, Tobias Harris, not even close. Small forward, power forward eligible, 7,700. Projected for 42, the goal is about 48. I've got him in the optimal lineup 54% of the time. I think he plays 36 minutes in this one if it's competitive. No reason to suspect that he wouldn't after his first 2 games. 1.17 fantasy points per minute. Here's the key piece. 30% usage. Tobias Harris has actually been higher than that since the beginning of last year with no Joel Embiid and no Ben Simmons on the floor. I don't have any reason to suspect that will be different right now. So I gave him 30. That gives him 23 points, 8 boards, 4 assists, a stock and a half, pace neutral against Utah. Maybe he struggles a little bit getting to the rack against someone like Rudy Gobert, but if the shot is falling, I don't think the defensive matchup matters all that much to someone like Tobias Harris. You're going to probably need him to cook a little bit in the mid-range, but he's dramatically underpriced for what his role is on this team with no Embiid and no Simmons. So Tobias Harris, unquestionably, my number one option for today. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Tuesday, November 16th. DraftKings version of this video is around here somewhere. Check it out. Good luck tonight, everybody. We will be back again tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.